How's it going, guys? Yomitosh here, back with another video, and I've got a fair bit of tweaks to show you today, so I'm going to run through them as quickly as I possibly can. And we'll just start off with the first one. The first one is called Icon Resizer for iOS 11, and if you can notice, my icons are actually a bit smaller than the regular sized icons, and this is from Icon Resizer for iOS 11. So now I can make this bigger than the original size, or I can make it smaller, which is what I've chosen right here. It gives this spacious look so you can still see most of your wallpapers, and you can go as far down as making it like a pixel size, but I don't see how useful that would be to you. But yeah, that's Icon Resizer for iOS 11. And before I head on to the next week, I just want to let you know that if you've got little X, you can close all apps by swiping down on any app, and then you see the kill all applications. I just thought it was useful for you guys who use little X, because there are other tweaks that do the same thing, but little X basically already does that for you. So we'll move on to the next tweak. The next tweak is Semperon. I think that's how it's pronounced, and it's basically an always on display for your iOS device. So this is definitely more useful for the iPhone 10. But as you can see, I've got a notification, and that's basically what you can do. If you've got notifications, you can see them right from your lock screen, and you just double tap to basically get back into your device. Now the next trick is called Photos Timeline, and I'll just briefly show you what Photos Timeline is like. So I've got this folder where wallpaper is downloaded to my phone, and basically if you look on the right side, you can see May 2018 over there. And yeah, this usually works on, if you're on memories, but it doesn't work for albums. So this is basically what it does. It gives you that functionality, and you can always change the color of the I don't know, the tag. I think that's what I'll call it, the tag. Yeah, so you can change it to any color you'd like. That's pretty handy. The next trick is called Artsy, and Artsy I think is making a comeback. It was in iOS 10, but yeah, basically Artsy is this basically. So I'm just going to play this song, and you can see that the background is taking over the music app. It also works on the lock screen, so it takes over right there. So that's pretty cool. It's not the full screen version that we're used to on iOS 10, but it's still good enough for iOS 11. So I'm just going to pause that song, and we'll move on to the next tweak. So the next tweak also is making a comeback. It's called Conditional WiFi, and this was pretty much one of my best tweaks on like iOS 10 and iOS 9. And yeah, you can basically set apps that you want to use Wi-Fi. So if it's not necessary that a particular app uses Wi-Fi, you can always disable it. And yeah, so like if you were trying to avoid going on the internet to get like an update inside of an app, you can always do that. I don't see many use cases for it now, but I definitely had some back in iOS 10. But yeah, that's Conditional Wi-Fi. The next trick is called Lockdown, and Lockdown is pretty cool. So it basically locks your phone depending on like the orientation and the proximity sensor. So yeah, the orientation, the position of your phone, and the proximity sensor being the sensors up here that determine when there's light in your environment. So I'm just going to quickly display. It takes 10 seconds, or I've set it up for 10 seconds. But basically once your phone is in your pocket, and this is pretty much how it's going to go into your pocket, the screen is going to be pitch black more or less, and it's going to be upside down. So yeah, 10 seconds. I have my display set at 5 minutes for display timeout, but it went into lock in 10 seconds. And you can also do it. I'm just going to show you my display settings to show you that it actually locks it in 10 seconds. So it's set at 5 minutes and it was locked in 10 seconds. And I'll just go into the settings for this tweak. Yeah, lockdown over there. So you can set it for pocket, and you can change the delay, and you can make it enable the screen when you flip it back up. You can also just do it for like a flip without the proximity sensor, and you can disable it all out, but you're getting the tweak so you can enable it. So I'm just going to have it set at pocket for a while, and I'll test it for a few days. The next trick is called Colorify, and Colorify, I've fallen in love with it so quickly. Like the neon green, yeah, look at that, the neon green in my Spotify, just a little bit of color, but it basically changes the whole experience. Like I didn't know I needed this. I mean, Spotify is green, so it matches with the whole like Spotify icon look. So I still have the black, yeah, that's the Spotify icon. I still have the black background, but now I have the neon green, and it just makes it look like an old computer, like hacking one color monitor display that had green and black basically. So that's pretty cool. And for the next set of tweaks, I've basically just bundled them up all together, and they're basically all just control center tweaks. So looking in my control center, you've got this is called Power Selector, and when you click on Power Selector, it tells you your Wi-Fi IP. Pretty handy, your free RAM, your installed RAM, and it just gives you a bunch of other things that you can clear on your phone. So power off, reboot, safe mode, respring, GUI cache, that's to clear GUI cache, and to lock your device basically, and then there's a cancel button. But then there's also the other ones that basically do pretty much the same thing, but not in like a list like that, but individual like buttons. So this is one from PowerCCModules, and you can basically take a screenshot with this function. There's also ones from or rather that was from XB-CCModules. They pretty much all do the same thing, but it's your choice which one you want to go for. So XB-CCModules offers a bit more than the other ones. But yeah, I'll just show you the control center to show you what all of them look like. So we're in the control center right now, and this is just a brief look at what all of them look like. So the XB modules all have the XB in front of it. So it's got airplane mode, Bluetooth module, cellular data module. I mean, you've got this already, but if you want it as an individual button and not like inside something like this, yeah, you can do that. So yeah, that's handy for those of you who like it that way. And then you can also get the PowerCCModules, which is basically the shutdown and the respring, and that's cool. You've also got safe mode as well. This is handy because sometimes I actually want to go into safe mode, but I don't necessarily have like a method. And also, if you don't know, you can actually use little X to go into safe mode by playing with the swipe and touch ID at the same time. It's really funny because when you try and do them both about the same exact time, it just goes into safe mode, but that's pretty cool. And then there's also Cowbell. So Cowbell is another tweak, and it basically shows you your battery percentage inside the low power module there. So I've got 73% right now, and I think that's pretty handy because many times I want to put on like low power mode just to check that my battery percentage basically, but now I don't have to do that because I don't like my battery percentage showing up there. I think it's quite nasty. It takes away from the aesthetics. And I think there's one more. Oh, I guess not. And yeah, that's it for this video, and I'm going to try something a bit cool. So tap and peace.